States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Before I ask for a motion to adopt this evening's agenda, I would like to pull items 11A, which is the Good Neighbor Award, and 11B, which is regarding Haven Homes. Any other changes this evening or additions?
Madam Mayor,
Yes, Councilmember DeLuca.
I'd like to add under new business staff recognition.
Okay, we will add that letter D, staff recognition under new business. Okay, so with the removal of 11A, the removal of 11B, the addition of 11D, staff recognition, I am looking for a motion to approve this evening's agenda.
So moved.
Moved by DeLong,
Second.
second by Cahill. Any further discussion? All in favor of approving the agenda by a show of hands, please. All right, I see 5 hands, post same sign. Motion passes. The agenda is adopted with changes. First item of business this evening is visitors to be heard. And this evening we have Hennepin County Sheriff David Hutchins with us. So I'm going to turn the floor over to them.
Jens, your microphone and camera are off.
Hey everyone, I'm talking with the sheriff right now. He said he's joined by phone, but he's muted. Is there anyone that could see that he is on there?
Okay, I've got 2 different phone numbers up here. So I've got 612, 612.
Maybe just the last 4 digits.
Oh, there he is. Okay, got him. Got him. Sorry.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
There he is, by gosh, yes.
Yes, we can hear you, Sheriff. Welcome. Oh, I lost you. Gotta love technology.
Yeah, I don't understand. He was right there.
Jens is still there, but the sheriff disappeared.
Here, wait a minute. Well, I don't see the sheriff. There is a 0090 number here.
Yeah, this is Sergeant Hajdukovic, Sheriff Hutchinson's administrative sergeant, and that's my number 0090.
Gotcha.
I'm not sure exactly what's going on with the sheriff, but he was on temporarily, so we'll see if we can get him back.
So is he 4644?
I think
Frank, that's correct.
9244.
4644 is correct for the sheriff.
All right.
Hey, hello everybody. Sorry about that. I'm finally on. My apologies. This is Sheriff Hutchinson.
Welcome back, Sheriff.
Yeah, sorry about that. I don't know what's going on with technology. Again, I just want to thank you for the opportunity to speak today. As you all know, it's been a excuse me, quite the year, quite the couple of years, and I just want to say again that the reason why your city is so successful is because of our great partnership, but also the West Hampton Public Safety. The director does a great job. Whenever they need us, we show up and we work well together. So that helps kind of keep the peace, makes my job easier, so I appreciate it. You know, we've had a little bit of everything from COVID to the unrest to the death of George Floyd that happened in Minneapolis, but it affects the county as a whole because we are so tight-knit, and a lot of these agencies, like your city, need our help. A few things we've done is implemented the Tri-Wellness, which is helps our mental health of our employees. We're getting better gyms to try to get us in better shape. We have a full-time psychologist, as well as police chaplains and other people. My goal is to keep the staff healthy and happy, so when they encounter you, be it hopefully on patrol, hopefully not in jail, but anything we do, you get the best service you can. As you know, Crime Lab in Hennepin County is one of the best in the nation for a county this populated. We actually still do property crimes, which usually major counties don't, but it's a theory that we think if we can catch criminals while they're doing property crime, we can maybe get them help before they do worse and have to go sit in our jail for a few days. So it's a great program, one of the best in the nation, like I said. And we'll go through Corona. I know we're all Corona'd out, but it's a major issue, as we know. It's affecting our staff very, very deeply and having a lot of issues with it going on. But of course, we follow the MDH and the CDC standards. We screen people. As of November, we had a population of 572 inmates. 41 of those are isolated, 10 are in quarantine. We have a few in custody with COVID. But the nice part of our jail is the new jail built in 2003 wasn't large enough under typical government fashion sometimes. So we still have to use our old jail, which is across the street connected by a tunnel. So we're easy to isolate these people. We've done a good job if you compare us to big counties nationally. So I'm excited for hopefully that goes down. And I always like to give good news and all the bad news we've had. Throughout the issues and pandemic, we've had lately almost 2,700 confirmed negative cases. So I like saying the negative cases. Makes me feel better. But we've tested more than most jails our size, of course, locally and nationally. We're doing pretty good. Fortunately, we wish it was zero, but it's not going to happen for a while, unfortunately. Talk about the civil unrest in Minneapolis and some of the first-tier suburbs. Of course, we fully support the right to protest peacefully, keyword peacefully. Got a little out of control this summer, but with effort from our neighboring agencies, Minneapolis, etc., you've seen some of the last protests that went awry. We made multiple arrests. We're done playing games with people. If you break stuff, hurt people, ruin people's livelihood, we're going to take you to jail with COVID or without, because people who do violent acts belong in our jail, and we'll do our best to keep them there. And I'm just looking for, as we're over the presidential election, I think. I don't know if we are for sure, but now we can all kind of settle. Let's work together. Let's, get rid of this COVID. Let's get back to our lives as normal. The county needs to come together to make sure we're safe. Crime's trending down. We can all live our lives and go to school, go to work, do whatever you want to do. I think it's important. And I just want to highlight the staff of West Hennepin Public Safety and their director. Gary's a good guy. Also, the Hennepin County Sheriff's deputies you see out there are second to none. They've had more stress put on them than the last year and a half than any human being should go through. Working long hours, keeping the peace in the city, plus doing our normal business. These men and women are some of the greatest public servants, and I'm proud to wear the same uniform as them. So with that, we have a couple stats. The Maple Plain, you guys do a great job. We've helped a few canine stuff, a few safety checks, a few traffic stops, nothing out of the ordinary, and that's a test to your great leadership. I can take questions if you wish. If not, thank you for the time.
Anyone have any questions for the sheriff? All right. Sheriff, thank you to you and your staff for your partnership with our officers and for all the work that all of you do to keep all of us safe. We appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you for your time. Happy holidays.
Same to you. Thanks for being here tonight. Stay safe. All right. Any other visitors to be heard tonight, Frank?
Not that I see there.
Okay, thank you. Next item of business is our consent agenda. On the consent agenda this evening are the minutes from October 26th workshop, the minutes from November 2nd budget workshop, minutes from November 9th workshop, minutes from November 13th, 2020 special meeting canvassing the election. Looking for the motion to approve the consent agenda this evening.
So moved.
Moved by Cahill,
I'll second.
second by DeLong. Any further discussion? All in favor of approving the consent agenda by a show of hands? I see 5 hands, opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. The consent agenda is approved. The next item this evening is our public hearing. We are having a public hearing to consider approval of resolution 20-1123-01, special assessment for delinquent utility bills. And I'm going to turn that over to staff to walk us through this first before we open the hearing.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the City Council. Each year you conduct a special assessment hearing for the purpose of assessing delinquent sewer and water bills. The authority that you have to take such action is found both under Minnesota statutes 444.075 subdivision 3 and in your own city code under 53.19. Of course, part of this effort is to get the delinquent sewer and water bills paid off. And I'm pleased to tell you that our special assessment roll started with 49 accounts on it. It stands before you today with 19 accounts on it. So we've had a substantial reduction, and I guess you can interpret that either way, good or bad news, depending on your perspective of the matter. However, before we establish a special assessment, we are required to provide for this public hearing. Notification was provided some months ago advising folks, and as you can see, they've availed themselves of paying up to date. Generally speaking, when an amount is set as a special assessment, it is sent to Hennepin County. We establish a $150 penalty on the balance, and Hennepin County establishes a 10% penalty on that balance, and it's expected to be paid within a 1-year period. If, for example, a property owner were to allow these kinds of assessments or the payment of your property taxes to lapse for 6 years, then in that event, that property could be taken under tax forfeiture statutes. Now, hopefully that will not occur in these cases. Hopefully folks may be down on the luck in the short term and simply need some time. And that's precisely what this special assessment provides for. You have a resolution in your packet. Attached to that resolution is a revised special assessment roll, which contains the 19 accounts I talked about. Also are copies of Minnesota statutes and your own city code if for reference purposes. What I suggest you do, Mayor, is following this report, feel free to ask me any questions. I'll do my best to answer them. Then you'll want to open the public hearing by motion and second. Provide the opportunity for persons who may be present, and as I indicated, I don't see anyone virtually who is here, but I will double check. Allow them the opportunity to speak should they desire. Once everyone who wishes to speak has spoken, then you want to close the public hearing and then determine whether you want to adopt the resolution referred to by the mayor and the corresponding assessment roll. So that would be the process. Are there any questions that I could answer?
Councilmember Fay?
Thank you, Mayor. A comment and a question. Frank, you sent out a revised resolution, and somewhere along the line, the second whereas, the first one was property owners receive quarterly utility bills, and the revised one you sent out said whereas property owners receive monthly utility bills.
Councilman,
So,
the second one is wrong. I'd revised it in the first one and we missed it in the second. I apologize.
okay, and then my question is, I just want to make sure that we offered grace back in, I believe, April, when the pandemic started. I want to make sure that nothing outstanding, nothing delinquent, no fees, no fines are outside of that grace period that we allowed people, allowed residents, that the accumulation of delinquent bills do not include any fees that we waived early on in the year.
Mayor, members of the council, Sharon has administered this from the start. And my understanding is that the waivers that were applicable have been executed. In other words, they're not reflected in these dollar amounts. Pardon me.
That's all I had.
Any other questions for staff? Okay, with that, then I'm looking for a motion to open the public hearing.
I move we open a public hearing on this topic.
Moved by Councilmember DeLuca, second by Councilmember Fay. All in favor of opening the hearing? Okay, 5 hands, opposed, same sign. The public hearing is open. Is there anyone to be heard this evening regarding the assessment of delinquent utility billing? Anyone to be heard? Anyone to be heard?
Mayor, members of the council, I only see panelists in attendance, no attendees. And so either staff or council members, maybe anyone's present.
And there is no one in the chambers either. All right, so with that, I'm looking for a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Moved by Councilmember DeLuca,
Second.
second by Councilmember Fay. All in favor of closing the public hearing by a show of hands? I see 5 hands, opposed, same sign. The public hearing is closed. At this time, then I am looking for a motion to approve the resolution 20-1123-01, special assessments for delinquent utility bills.
So moved.
Moved by Councilmember Cahill,
I'll second.
second by Councilmember DeLong. This is a resolution, so we will vote by roll call. So I'll turn it over to Frank.
Mayor Moskowski,
Aye.
Councilmember Fay,
Aye.
Councilmember DeLong,
Aye.
Councilmember DeLuca,
Aye.
Councilmember Cahill.
Aye.
All right, the ayes have it 5-0. We will move on to the next item of business, which is our October accounts payable, and I will turn that over to staff.
Mayor, members of the council, we have our accounts payable here before you. There might be a couple of questions that you have. In fact, one of them that I received was the telephone bill on page 2. If you note, there's a 601 and a 101. 101 is your general fund, 601 is fire. So those are bills being separated between administration and fire. The ordinances, you'll see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ordinances, plus a notice of a general election. This is part of our effort. We found that 25 ordinances had been adopted since 2005, as I recall. A number of them had not been published. And so this catches up on the publication in order to assure that those ordinances are effective. If there are other questions, I'll be glad to try to respond to them.
Questions for staff regarding accounts payable?
No, but thank you for the clarification, Frank, because I was really questioning my memory that I didn't remember voting on some of those some of those resolutions.
Did you catch him in the paper?
I was reading the paper and I'm like,
well, I don't remember.
I
it
don't
either."
remember any of that.
Frank, I do have
Clean
a
was quite
question.
popular. Oh, sorry, Councilmember Fay, go ahead.
No, that's all right. Page 4, TIF special litigation.
Oh, yes.
To refresh my memory on when we got into TIF questions.
So that will tax your memory, Mayor, members of the council. This is an old bill. When you were seeking some special legislation you used an expert, a bond attorney, whose name is Mary Uppel. Mary either failed to bill us or billed us and we failed to pay. And so this is her cost for drafting that special legislation for you. Thank you for asking. I'd totally forgotten about that.
Hearing no other questions, then I'm looking for a motion to approve our October accounts payable as submitted.
So moved.
Moved by
Second.
Councilmember DeLong, second by Councilmember Fay. Any further discussion? All in favor of approving the October accounts payable by a show of hands? 5, but I'll still ask. Opposed, same sign. All right, accounts payable are approved 5-0. Next item of business this evening is our administrative reports. Those are received in writing. Everyone's had a chance to read them. Looking for a motion to receive the administrative reports.
So moved.
Moved by Councilmember Cahill,
Second.
second by Councilmember DeLong. All in favor of receiving the administrative reports by a show of hands? I see 5, opposed, same sign. All right, motion carries. Administrative reports are received. Thank you to our staff for their work and communication. It's appreciated. Next item is our old business, and I'm going to turn this over to staff.
City Attorney Landsman is here virtually, and I would ask him to provide the staff report.
Madam Mayor, members of the council, West Hennepin Public Safety conducted an alcohol compliance check utilizing a underage decoy, and the decoy allegedly sold alcoholic beverages or a beverage in violation of state statute to an employee of Blackwater Coffee and Cafe LLC, doing business as Blackwater Coffee and Cafe. Notice was received from Blackwater that they wanted to contest the hearing, or I'm sorry, contest the matter before the city council with regards to civil imposition of penalty or imposition of civil penalty. On November 11th, I received an email from Blackwater withdrawing its request for administrative hearing. And so now the matter is deemed non-contested and admitted. So they have waived their right to a hearing. And the only matter before the city council at this point, determination as to the imposition of the civil penalty. Maple Plain City Code provides when there is a violation of state statute or city code with regards to liquor, for the first violation, there's a minimum minimum 3-year period for, or if there hasn't been a violation within 3-year period, this is the first, there's a 1-day suspension. That's a minimum. The maximum under state statute is 60 days and or revocation. Also, city code provides for a civil penalty if there's the first violation with a 3-year period of a $500 fine. Under state statute, the maximum is up to $2,000. Staff is recommending that the city council adopt resolution 20-1123.02, imposing penalties on Blackwater Coffee and Cafe LLC, doing business as Blackwater Coffee and Cafe, with a fine of $500 and a suspension of its on-sale wine and beer and Sunday liquor license for a period of 1 day.
Any questions for staff? All right, seeing none, then I am looking for a motion to approve resolution 20-1123-02 and 20-1123-03. This is imposing the minimum penalties on Blackwater Coffee and Cafe and Moni's Bar and Restaurant for illegal on sale liquor sales to a minor.
Madam Mayor, we're gonna take these one at a time at this point.
Oh,
So let's.
sounds good.
20-1123-02.
Okay, and that one is for Blackwater?
Correct.
Okay,
Mayor, I'll make the motion to, for resolution 20-1123-02.
there's a motion.
I'll second that.
Motion by Councilmember Fay, second by Councilmember DeLuca. Any further discussion? Councilmember DeLuca.
Scott, what's the understanding of the serving of the 1-day suspension if we were to impose that? Is that at the discretion of the police chief and our director of public service? How's that determined? Just for full transparency.
Okay, so with regard to the collection of the $500 fine and determination of the 1-day suspension, the council through this resolution is providing it discretion to the police chief to make that determination.
And I would just like to clarify that since my understanding is Blackwater is not seeking a liquor license in 2021, that 1 day, have an understanding that 1 day does need to be served in 2020.
I think the intent the direction is clear from the council with this resolution that there will be a 1-day suspension. The idea is that while the license is valid, even regardless of whether or not they would be renewing or not. So unless there's some extenuating circumstances, I believe, it is the chief's discretion, but I believe that it would be any time from Thanksgiving till the end of the year.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? All right, we have a motion and a second, and this is a resolution, so it will be a roll call vote for resolution 20-1123-02 for Blackwater Coffee and Cafe.
Mayor Moskowski,
Aye.
Councilmember Cahill,
Aye.
Councilmember DeLong,
Aye.
Councilmember DeLuca,
Aye.
Councilmember Fay.
Aye.
Okay. The next item is resolution 20-1123-03. Same thing for Moni's Bar and Restaurant.
Madam Mayor, that's similar to the Blackwater. This involves TJ Pub LLC doing business as Moni's. There was a sale to an underage decoy of an alcoholic beverage in violation of state statute by an employee of the license holder of Moni's. They, similar to Blackwater, provided notice that they would be contesting the imposition of civil penalty for the alleged violation. Subsequently, I received an email that, and I do apologize, it looks like I did not change. It looks like it says Blackwater in here, but it was Moni's withdrew its request for the administrative hearing. And now the matter is deemed non-contested and admitted. So the only matter the only matter that's before the council right now, termination of the imposition of penalty, and similar, as I said last time, the minimum under code is a $500 fine and a 1-day suspension. Maximum under state statute is $2,000 fine and up to 6-day suspension and or revocation. The staff is recommending adoption of resolution number 20-1123-03, imposing a $500 fine and a suspension of the on sale, off sale, and Sunday liquor license for TGA Pub LLC doing business as Moni's for a period of 1 day. It should be noted that with discussions between Moni's, myself, and the chief of police, that day will be on Thanksgiving Day. And so staff is looking for adoption of the resolution.
Looking for a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Councilmember DeLong.
Second.
A second by Councilmember Cahill. Any further discussion? All right, it is a roll call vote for resolution 20-1123-03.
Mayor Moskowitz,
Aye.
Councilmember Cahill,
Aye.
Councilmember DeLong,
Aye.
Councilmember DeLuca,
Aye.
Councilmember Fay.
Aye.
All right. The ayes have it. All right. Anything else, staff, regarding this? All right, so the police chief then will move forward. All right, next we will move on to new business. Thank you, Scott, for your help with that. New
Thank you.
business, we are on item 11C. Consider approval of the acquisition of chairs to replace the worn out chairs at City Hall.
Mayor, members of the council, as you're aware, sometimes painfully, the chairs that we have here at City Hall, both in the council chambers and in the conference room, in any case, where the public is asked to utilize our rooms either on an informal basis or for their community groups, organizations, clubs, what have you. The chairs are at least 10 years old. I have had the opportunity to personally check a number of these chairs, and I can tell you, you've used them very, very well. You've gotten every year out of them, and I think maybe a couple beyond their expected lifespan. I'm told that virtually every one of these chairs originated at your previous City Hall building, and you haven't been there for what, 6 years? And they weren't new then. I am recommending that the City Council replace these chairs, every one of them, in the council chambers, also including the chairs for the City Council as well as the public, and in the conference room here. That is a total of 41 chairs, and that is in the amount of just over $10,000. Pardon me for a minute here. The amount would be $10,092.63. We are getting quite a discount on the chairs for the quantity, as you might imagine, in this particular state of the world right now. And the chairs these are high quality chairs, ergonomically and otherwise. So our recommendation is the council does authorize that purchase so we can proceed in the acquisition. If you ask me exactly what we'll do with the existing chairs, I'd have to say I just don't see any residual value for them. I would not want to be responsible for someone literally having one of these chairs break on them as they utilize them at their office, their personal office, their home. I'm available for any questions, Mayor, members of the council.
Any questions for staff regarding the purchase of new chairs? Right. Hearing none, then I am looking for a motion to approve the purchase of new chairs for the chambers and the conference room.
So moved.
Moved by Cahill.
I'll second.
Second by DeLong. Any further discussion? All in favor of purchasing 41 new chairs by a show of hands? I see 5 hands, opposed, same sign. Right, the motion approval passes 5-0.
Thank you.
Right, next item of business was added this evening by Councilmember DeLuca, staff recognition.
And thank you, Mayor. And Council, I've asked to have the discussion item on staff recognition tonight, that the past 6 months have certainly been a challenging time for our staff with a change of leadership, just coming out of what I would call a very interesting and challenging election season. I don't think anyone understood what kind of early balloting issues we would have. But our staff managed that in an extraordinarily professional way. They also managed our election day activities to the point where it was like clockwork that day. Both Jill and Sharon have shown extreme flexibility over the last 6 months. They've shown a passion for customer service, and they just do an awfully good job of what they do. Therefore, I would move that the city provide a spot bonus pursuant to our human resources policies to each of them in the amount of $500, along with a huge kudos for a job well done.
Is that a motion, Councilmember DeLuca?
That's what it was.
All right, I'm looking for a second.
I'll second that.
Second by Councilmember Cahill. Any further discussion or questions for those that were at the budget meeting or for staff? Okay, hearing none. All in favor of approving a spot bonus for our staff and showing appreciation? Show of hands. All right, I see 5 hands. Opposed, same sign. All right, the motion carries. The spot bonus has been approved. Frank, I trust you will share that good news with the staff tomorrow, and kudos from all of us.
And I'll certainly indicate this was fully initiated by the city council. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and thank you for your leadership through it. All right, next item of business is council reports and other business. We will start with Councilmember Fay.
Hello, thank you. I see we're not going alphabetical.
We're going in order of the windows in your top right on my screen.
Well, then I'll do what DeLong does and
Followed by Cahill, followed by DeLuca, followed by DeLong.
Recently, I attended the first, what I believe of maybe several budget simplification meetings with Councilmember DeLuca, Sharon, Frank, and Bonnie from EBDO, and going in the right direction to simplify and clean our budget for our future use. Continue to attend Rotary meetings with the mayor on Thursday mornings. We had a canceled Pioneer Sarah Creek watershed meeting last week due to lack of an agenda. Not surprising. This time of year, things get a little light. Attended the election canvassing meeting with all of you a week ago Friday. And Councilmember Cahill, myself, and Frank, I believe, will be attending the fire relief meeting on Monday. That's it.
Thank you. Next will be Councilmember Cahill, followed by Councilmember DeLuca.
In addition to those meetings that John mentioned that we did together, I also attended the West Hennepin Chamber of Commerce virtually, where we received some interesting information about tax implications from COVID-19 and CARES Act. And I would also just point out that Hennepin County is offering additional grants for businesses who have been affected by the latest executive orders. And those applications are due next week, I believe Tuesday. So very quick turnaround, but there is money available for restaurants and other retail that are affected.
Thank you, Councilmember Cahill. Councilmember DeLuca, followed by Councilmember DeLong.
Nothing to add.
Thank you. Councilmember DeLong.
Just regular meetings, and then I did meet over at the park with a couple of citizens, just as pretty much citizen DeLong, just to help out with the rink. And that led me actually to a conversation with the city of Plymouth and how they manage all of their rinks, which was pretty interesting. They do not, we will be glad to know, use any liners. So not something that we're going to be bringing forward anytime soon. There were some boards that were replaced over there where I was supposed to help that next Saturday, and then I was on lockdown for 3 weeks. So, but that's about it. We're gonna work to try to come together with a plan on the rink for the future, and hopefully something that we can present to you guys with actual possibly funding options as well. So that is about it.
All right, thank you for that update. I was able to attend the Highway 12 Safety Coalition meeting, which also coincides a little bit with the chamber meeting, as next year Maple Plain will, traffic will be detoured through town. So we're working with our businesses to come up with a plan on how we can encourage people to still stop in Maple Plain and to support our businesses through that. Also was able to attend the Northwest Hennepin League of Municipalities. We had a speaker regarding real estate and the housing that affects all of us as cities and taxes. Was able to attend the Hennepin County Criminal Justice Coordinating Committee meeting, and we talked about our vision, our planning, and in particular, our juvenile assessment and triage. So that was very informative. And then was able to represent our city at the Metro Cities Policy Adoption meeting. So, and as people have already mentioned, council has been busy with our budget workshop and our special meeting with Canvas in the election. And then I also wanted to just do a little shout out to the Orno Rotary and particular Councilmember Fay for his leadership with the Veterans Day project, as I hope many of you were able to see the flags. And next year we look forward to celebrating in the park with everyone. So any other business this evening? All right, seeing none, then I am looking for a motion to adjourn.
I move to adjourn.
Moved by DeLuca,
I'll second.
second by DeLong. All in favor of adjourning by a show of hands? All right, the meeting is adjourned at 7:43. Thank you everyone for your work.
Good night, everyone. Have a great Thanksgiving.
You too.
Too.